Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below, because your experience and your perspective might inspire another man who is on the same journey as you. Stay with me until the very end, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you see yourself in relationships and the way she sees you. So, how do you know you're a real man for her? Not just someone she spends time with, not just someone she dates, but the man who truly stands out in her heart and mind? This is a question that men have been asking themselves for centuries, but it remains just as relevant today. And the truth is, most men underestimate what being a real man actually means to a woman. They think it's about money, status, or looks. They think it's about being strong in the traditional sense, or about fulfilling roles society has defined. But female psychology reveals something far deeper, far more nuanced. To a woman, a real man is not just about external achievements. It's about how you make her feel, how you carry yourself, and how consistent you are in your words and actions. And the first signal that you are that man is emotional presence. Women crave presence. They want to feel that when you are with them, you are really there. Not distracted by your phone, not lost in your thoughts, not giving her half of your attention. A real man for her makes her feel like she matters in that moment, like nothing else is more important. That level of presence creates emotional security. And emotional security is the foundation of attraction and long-term connection. But presence is only the beginning. Another sign is consistency. Words mean little without action, and women know this better than anyone. A man may promise her the world, but if his actions don't align with his words, she sees through it. A real man for her is consistent. His behavior matches his promises. He shows up when he says he will, he follows through, and he doesn't vanish when things get tough. Consistency builds trust, and trust is what makes her see you as irreplaceable. There's also the question of strength, but not just physical strength. Women admire a man who can handle life's challenges without falling apart, who can stay calm in crisis, who can protect not just with his body, but with his wisdom, his patience, and his decision-making. A real man provides strength in all forms, emotional, mental, and yes, when needed, physical too. This strength makes her feel safe, and safety is something women rarely admit but deeply desire. Then comes emotional intelligence. Too many men think that showing emotion is weakness. But the opposite is true. A real man knows how to express himself honestly without losing control. He can listen to her feelings without dismissing them, comfort her without belittling her, and share his own struggles without shame. Emotional intelligence is not softness, it's mastery. And women recognize it instantly. Another powerful sign is respect. It might sound simple, but respect is the cornerstone of being the real man for her. Respect for her time, her boundaries, her opinions, and her individuality. A man who treats her with dignity, who doesn't try to control or diminish her, becomes the man she values above all others. Respect isn't about agreeing with everything she says. It's about acknowledging her humanity, her worth, and her freedom. And let's not forget vision. A real man is not lost, drifting without purpose. He has goals, dreams, and direction. Women admire men who know where they're going in life because it shows leadership and ambition. It tells her that if she walks by your side, she's not wandering aimlessly. She's part of a journey with meaning. Vision is attractive because it signals drive, and drive is magnetic. Now here's something most men don't realize. Being a real man for her doesn't mean being perfect. In fact, perfection creates distance. A real man is not flawless. He makes mistakes, he fails, he struggles. But what sets him apart is his accountability. He owns up to his mistakes instead of hiding them. He apologizes sincerely when he's wrong. He learns, he adapts, he grows. That humility, combined with responsibility, is what makes her trust that you'll always strive to be better. Finally, a real man is someone who can create peace. Life is full of stress, chaos, and noise. But when she's with you, she should feel calmer, lighter, safer. That doesn't mean avoiding conflict or pretending problems don't exist. It means handling them with maturity, finding solutions instead of creating drama. If your presence gives her peace instead of tension, that's one of the clearest signs you are her real man. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Tell us what being a real man means to you, because your words might help another man understand his own value. And stay with me until the very end, because in this part, we'll dig even deeper into the psychology of what makes a woman look at you and say, yes, he is my man. So let's go further. Another sign that you are truly a real man for her is accountability with leadership. Women admire men who take responsibility, not just for themselves, but for the relationship and the environment around them. If something goes wrong, you don't play the blame game. You step up, you acknowledge your role, and you take action to improve things. Leadership here doesn't mean control. It means guidance. It means being someone she can rely on when life gets messy. A real man shows direction without arrogance, strength without domination. Connected to leadership is integrity. Integrity is being the same man in public and in private. It's aligning your values with your actions. Women can sense very quickly when a man lives with integrity. If you treat others with kindness, if you're honest even when it's difficult, if you stick to your principles, she sees you as rare, and rarity makes you unforgettable. Another layer is self-mastery. Women want to know that the man they're with is not enslaved by impulses. This means control over anger, over jealousy, over addictions, over destructive habits. A real man doesn't let his emotions or weaknesses dictate his life. Instead, he disciplines himself, he learns balance, he grows. Self-mastery doesn't mean never feeling temptation or struggle. It means refusing to be controlled by them. And women admire this deeply because it shows that you can be trusted not only with your own life, but with hers as well. Now, let's talk about support. A real man is not threatened by her dreams or her independence. He celebrates her ambitions, he encourages her growth, he pushes her toward her goals. Too many men feel diminished when their partner succeeds, but a real man doesn't compete. He supports. He knows that her victory is also his victory, because love is not a contest but a partnership. Women recognize this instantly. They see the difference between a man who tries to hold them back and a man who helps them fly. Another important element is intimacy, and not just physical intimacy. Real intimacy is about emotional vulnerability, about letting her see your heart. Many men confuse toughness with silence, but being a real man doesn't mean shutting down your emotions. It means being strong enough to share them honestly. When you open up, not with weakness, but with authenticity, you create a bond that is nearly unbreakable. Women don't forget the man who makes them feel connected at the soul, and here's a surprising sign: playfulness. Yes, maturity, leadership, and integrity are crucial, but a real man also knows how to laugh, how to play, how to enjoy life. If she can be herself around you, if she can laugh with you until her stomach hurts, if she can feel light and joyful in your presence, then you are more than just her partner. You are her safe space. Women admire men who can balance responsibility with joy. That balance makes them feel alive. Now let's not avoid the subject of protection. At the core of female psychology, there is a desire for safety. And being a real man for her means being someone who protects, not by controlling or intimidating, but by standing as her shield when life attacks. This protection comes in many forms: protecting her emotions from neglect, protecting her dignity from disrespect, protecting her life from unnecessary risks. A man who makes a woman feel safe in all these ways earns her deepest admiration. There is also adaptability. Life changes, circumstances evolve. A real man is not rigid and inflexible. He adapts, he adjusts, he grows with the challenges. Women admire men who can handle change with resilience, who can reinvent themselves when necessary, who don't collapse when plans shift. This adaptability makes her trust you with the unknown future because she knows you won't run. You'll face it together. Another powerful signal is communication. A real man doesn't hide in silence when there's conflict. He doesn't resort to shouting or manipulation. He communicates clearly, honestly, and with respect. He listens as much as he speaks. He seeks solutions, not victories. This type of communication is rare, but when a woman finds it, she feels she has found a man worth building a future with. Finally, let's talk about presence during her storms. Every woman faces moments of fear, doubt, and pain. A real man doesn't abandon her in those storms. He doesn't minimize her struggles. He doesn't tell her she's overreacting. Instead, he stands beside her, steady as a rock, letting her know she is not alone. Sometimes he offers advice, sometimes he simply offers silence and a shoulder to lean on. But the message is always the same: I'm here no matter what. That is what makes her look at you differently. That is what makes her whisper to herself, "He is my man." Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below what being a real man means to you. Your comment may be the very thing that helps another man gain clarity about his own worth. Now let's dive even deeper into this question. How do you truly know you're a real man for her? One of the most important signs is consistency under pressure. Anyone can be kind, patient, and respectful when life is easy. But when challenges arise, when money is tight, when stress hits, when disagreements surface, your true character shows. A real man does not collapse under pressure. He doesn't lash out in anger or withdraw in silence. Instead, he remains steady, anchored, and dependable. Women admire this because it tells them that in the storms of life, you will not abandon ship. Another powerful trait is authentic confidence. Confidence isn't about being loud or domineering. It's about inner security. A man who knows his worth without bragging, who leads without shouting, who carries himself with quiet dignity, radiates a magnetic energy. Women see this and feel safe because his confidence creates a stable environment for love to grow. And here's the truth. Women can instantly tell the difference between fake bravado and genuine confidence. One feels exhausting, the other feels grounding. Now let's talk about boundaries. Many men confuse being a real man with saying yes to everything, sacrificing themselves endlessly to please a woman. But the opposite is true. A real man has boundaries. He knows his values and will not compromise them for temporary approval. He respects her deeply, but he also respects himself. This self-respect shows her that you are not desperate, that you are not weak, that you stand firmly in who you are. And paradoxically, it's those boundaries that make her respect and admire you even more. Another sign is consistency in affection. A real man doesn't just shower her with love when he's in the mood or when it benefits him. He creates an environment of steady care, of genuine affection that doesn't disappear when things get tough. This consistency reassures her that she is not just loved in the good moments, but also in the challenging ones. And then there is the ability to inspire. Women admire men who make them want to be better, not through pressure or criticism, but by example. A real man doesn't just demand growth, he lives it. He takes care of his body, his mind, his spirit. He pursues knowledge, maintains discipline, and chases goals with integrity. Watching him grow makes her want to grow too. Inspiration is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways a man leaves a lasting mark on a woman's heart. Let's not overlook emotional generosity. A real man doesn't withhold kindness, encouragement, or affection as a tool of control. He gives freely without expecting immediate return. His generosity shows not just in material things, but in his time, his attention, his words. And women admire men who create an atmosphere of abundance instead of scarcity, because it makes them feel safe to open their hearts completely. Another dimension is the ability to face truth. Many people run from uncomfortable truths, but a real man faces them head-on. He doesn't sugarcoat reality, he doesn't hide behind excuses, and he doesn't live in denial. When she sees that you can accept truth, even when it hurts, she knows you are strong enough to handle life honestly. This honesty is rare, and it makes you unforgettable. Finally, a real man is committed to legacy. He doesn't just live for today, he lives with awareness of the future. Whether it's through his family, his community, or the values he instills in others, he is building something greater than himself. Women admire men who think beyond their own comfort, who strive to leave the world better than they found it. Legacy makes you more than just a man in her life. It makes you the man. Before I continue, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Do you believe being a real man is something you're born with or something you grow into? Let's see what the community thinks. Now, let's bring everything together and go even further. One of the clearest signs you're a real man for her is when she feels safe to be herself around you. This may sound simple, but it is profound. If she can show her flaws, her fears, her insecurities, and still feel accepted by you, then you are her safe space. Women hide parts of themselves from men they don't fully trust. But with a real man, they can unfold completely. And that level of acceptance creates a bond stronger than passion alone. Another sign is stability in your masculine energy. This doesn't mean dominance or control, it means grounded presence. A real man doesn't get lost in insecurity or competition. He provides an energy of protection, guidance, and direction that makes her feel supported. Women may not always describe it in words, but they sense it. They feel calmer around you, more feminine, more free. This is one of the strongest indicators you are her real man. Let's also talk about selflessness. Being a real man doesn't mean neglecting yourself, but it does mean being able to put her needs first when necessary. It's the willingness to sacrifice comfort for her well-being, to protect her dignity even at cost to yourself, to step up when she needs you most. Women admire men who don't live only for themselves, but who give their strength in service of love. Another undeniable quality is courage. Not just physical courage, but moral courage. The courage to stand for what is right, to defend her when she is vulnerable, to speak truth even when it is unpopular. Courage makes a man worthy of admiration because it proves that he will not abandon his values when tested. Now, here's something many men don't realize. Being her real man is also about consistency over time. Anyone can impress for a week, a month, or even a year, but a real man shows up again and again, year after year, through highs and lows. That consistency is what convinces her that you are not just a chapter in her story, you are the story. Another layer is forgiveness. A real man doesn't hold grudges or use past mistakes as weapons. He forgives sincerely both himself and her. This ability to let go of resentment shows strength, not weakness. Women admire men who can move forward without dragging the weight of bitterness. And let's not forget gratitude and love. A real man never takes her for granted. He notices the little things she does. He thanks her for her presence. He shows appreciation consistently. Gratitude is magnetic because it makes her feel seen and valued. And when a woman feels valued, her loyalty deepens beyond measure. So here is the ultimate test. When she looks at you, does she feel peace, strength, inspiration, and safety? If the answer is yes, then you are not just any man, you are her real man. And that is the greatest gift you can give her. The assurance that she is loved, protected, and cherished by a man who knows his worth and honors hers.